Right, so India is still coming to grips with the aftermath of the Monday evening's blast outside the Red Fort here in New Delhi. At last count, at least 8 people are dead and scores are injured. Most of them are recovering, we are told, at the Lok Nayak Hospital in the city. Investigations are on. Raids are being conducted in New Delhi and across the country as well, in several states, including Jammu and Kashmir. We are still waiting for the identities of the suspect, waiting for confirmation on that as well, and expose the modus operandi and the nexus that exists between the conspirators whose names have surfaced in the last 24 odd hours. Right, joining me from the ground is my colleague Jessica Taneja. Jessica, how's the investigation coming along?
Well, we haven't been able to get much from the authorities here, but what we've been able to understand is that police is particularly right now, along with the investigative agencies, are probing a particular angle where they're trying to sort of understand the nexus of this terror menace, so to say. Some may call it, as reports would suggest, to ascertain as to what was really and what kind of inputs and what kind of planning that had gone into this. And initial reports have not been able to suggest exact cause. Some reports suggest it could have been an ammonium nitrate with a detonator, but none of those reports have been confirmed yet by the authorities so far. But a particular, track of the car, and when you notice the CCTV cameras that have been that have been looked through by the authorities, seem to suggest that the I-20 car was around the area around 3 p.m. and then it was parked there, and then finally it moved towards the red light where the blast that took place yesterday evening. It's been almost more than 24 hours since that blast took place, but we still do have some vehicles on the ground here, as you see, stationed. And earlier in the day, you had another group of the NSG commandos go and help with the agencies and the particular probe that is ongoing, and the investigating authorities that have so far been able to understand or gather at this point. An official confirmation on that, Ramesh, is still expected, but if you believe the reports that are surfacing and that is being reported right now, it seems to suggest that there is more to it than meets the eye, especially when it comes
Indeed.
to initial assessment of this just being a CNG blast. Well, it certainly isn't CNG, and it's much more than that. A lot of questions remain to be answered.
Indeed, a lot of questions remain to be answered, as you say, Jessica. But interestingly, no group has claimed responsibility for the incident just yet. Now, that said, do we know, with the benefit of hindsight, whether investigators have been able to piece together a timeline or sequence of events leading up to the blast? Could you recap the days and hours leading up to the blast, especially given the fact that we know now that explosives were recovered in the neighboring town of Faridabad a day ago, and that the owner of the car, we are told, has been traced to Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir?
Well, that is what the initial reports are suggesting right now, Ramesh, that approximately 3,000 kilograms of explosives and other material, talk about communication devices and other planning material that was confiscated by the police, not just from the Faridabad probe, but also in Uttar Pradesh, in Lucknow, as well as Saharanpur. There are 2 doctors that have been apprehended right now. And the third one in question, and perhaps the suspect, as many are looking at it right now, but no confirmation from the authorities yet, especially the ones investigating anything on the doctor who the car has now been traced to, the last buyer of the car after it was bought earlier by a resident from the National Capital Region. So certainly a lot of links leading to a point to understand that this is a coordinated attack. But at the same time, in the moment when it did go off, was it according to plan, or was it a panic a situation in that moment that led to this? Because if you talk about the kind of explosion
Right.
we've seen. Right where I am standing is about 100 meters away from the place where the blast took place. And when I was here last evening, there were pieces of burned car as well as other material that could be seen on the roads here. But that, of course, would give you an idea of the kind of impact this blast
Indeed.
had. So certainly not CNG, but we'll wait for the officials to give us as to who exactly was responsible finally when the report is out.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Jessica, thank you. Jessica Taneja reporting there from the ground.